trying to prolapse. Are you serious? Feel that her cervix was around his eyes. Hello and welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. I'm gonna cut into the beginning of this video here to clarify a couple of things. I experienced something during one of our goat births this week that I have experienced before, and previously it was a very bad outcome. So you're gonna be hearing me use the term ringwomb while I am talking about what's going on with my goat Shindy. And in researching after the fact, I don't think that that's what we were dealing with exactly. It sounds like true ringwomb cannot be corrected by manually dilating the cervix. And thankfully, spoiler alert, this was corrected by manually dilating the cervix. I think what we were dealing with more is she was trying to prolapse. Her uterus was coming forward into the vagina, and that was causing some pretty major issues for her where she was trying to push before her body was ready. And I genuinely don't think she would have been trying to push had she not felt that bulge in the place where it kind of activates that pushing reflex. So I also don't explain super well what I'm doing, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll the footage, and then afterwards I'll meet you back here to clarify some things again. We are 3 or 4 days into our 8-day due date window. I've been calling it kidding palooza because I have 8 does due within this 8 days, and only 2 have delivered so far, so it's gonna be kind of crazy coming up real soon. Hi, ma'am. This is Shindy. Shindy was showing some signs of labor last night. I'm pretty sure she's contracting right now. We'll go in there and check on her in a little bit, but I want to make sure her sisters don't need more immediate attention. These 2 are out here. I feel like Tizzy's udder has grown. Okay, let's see. Nope. No, very firm ligaments. That's actually crazy for how big her udder is. Well, that's okay. We can focus on Shindy today. And then Breezy here, she has not really looked like she's going to kid super soon. Maybe her ligaments are sinking in a little. Hey, can I check you? Can I check on you? Her ligaments are basically gone. She has not tolerated me messing with her back end at all, and she's tolerating it now. So that's one of the other signs. I think I neglected to mention in the first video is their attitude can change a lot. So if you have a real standoffish goat, Shindy's not really standoffish, but she can have an attitude. A lot of times when they go into labor, they do a 180 and they become nice and loving. She knows that I'm here to help her, so that's good. And then sometimes, like with our Tori over there, it was really in the days leading up to labor. Tori, who's normally very friendly, was very, very standoffish. But today is Shindy's day. And honestly, it's a cold one today. We have had some really warm temperatures the last couple of days, but I don't want her getting out of sight of my camera. I want to be able to watch her closely, and if she does happen to drop babies when I'm not looking, they'll at least be somewhat close to the heat lamp. My kidding stalls here are about 4.5 feet by 8 feet, which isn't huge, but it's enough space for a mini La Mancha like Shindy to do some circling and pacing. And she's even been standing up a little bit on the door and stuff, so she's able to change position and walk around, and that's good. And there's the udder situation for her. Really pretty, ma'am. That's very pretty. She's like, I don't care if it's pretty. I don't want to be doing this right now. Well, it seemed like a real good idea 5 months ago, didn't it? Yeah. I came down here and sat with Shindy a little while and watched her eat and chew her cud. And she seemed pretty relaxed, so I went inside and was watching her on the camera. And I haven't noticed her chew her cud in quite some time. I think we're close to an hour without chewing cud. And that's concerning to me, because when a goat chews their cud, it's a good sign that everything is okay. It's not obviously foolproof, because sometimes I've seen goats chew their cud shortly before dying but in the labor situation, you do want to see them chewing their cud every like 15 to 30 minutes. After 30 minutes of seeing no cud chewing, I start getting worried, and after an hour, I go ahead and give a superficial check just to make sure everything is going okay. She has been laying down and giving the tiniest little pushes for about 30 minutes, and she's got a little goo coming out, so it's not like there's no progress, but we really should be seeing more progress than we are. She's a first freshener, so she's never done this before. She's never been handled in this way, so she might not tolerate this check super great. That's why I like to have collars on girls while they're in labor, just in case. I know. We're just gonna check. It's okay, Mama. It's okay. So there is a ring, this is her cervix on the inside, but if you imagine putting your fingers inside like the base of a balloon where you would blow it up, and that little lip that a balloon has, it's kind of like that on the inside. When they're fully dilated, it's pretty hard to feel that. It's essentially just flush with the vaginal wall, and that's what's happening as I'm kind of working my fingers around in here. It's helping her dilate a little more. She probably has a kid in here that's in a weird position. I can feel a bubble, but I can't feel anything in it. No, I can't exactly tell what I'm feeling. Here, let's see if she'll lay down and push. She's definitely grinding her teeth. Shindy. On second thought, I don't think she's dilated. So there's a bubble protruding into the vaginal canal, but it's not like I can feel around and behind it. It's not super slick like a normal, kid bubble would be. It's a little bit tissue-like, and I can feel it's only open about the size of like the tip of my finger. So I don't really want to press the issue. It does concern me that she's not chewing her cud and she is doing little pushes. So I'm hoping that she's not trying to prolapse, because I feel like that's potentially what's going on, and I don't want her doing that. Got some red raspberry leaves here. Yeah, so you want to try this? These are yummy. I've got a big bag of these inside. She can have as many as she wants. This should help. Look, it's a uterine tonic, this herb is. And her being willing to eat anything is a good sign to me right now. Her lack of chewing cud, who knows why that might be. It could be genuinely that she's a first freshener and she's stressed out and she doesn't know what's going on, but we'll see. My mentor asked me to call the vet, so that's what I'm doing. However, historically, this doesn't result in anything but me doing what I was doing before, so. Hi, I was wondering if I could get a phone consult with a vet about a goat giving birth. Today or tomorrow. So there's nobody to, because the doe's having issues right now. Hey, I might be figuring it out. as we speak. Oop, hang on, baby. I think we may be dealing with ringworm. And I was trying to manually dilate the cervix. I think it's working. I just didn't know if you had any advice other than that. Okay. I do have oxytocin on hand that I got a couple of years ago when we had a doe with a similar issue. But it kind of doesn't seem like she needs it because she is progressing. Yep, okay, I appreciate your help. Thanks, you too. So what's going on is something that I think is called ringwomb. And it's where the cervix doesn't dilate as it should, probably because there's more than one baby trying to come out at the same time. And there's not a large enough mass behind the cervix to really put enough pressure to dilate her properly. She's just got a bunch of kids tangled up in there. The last time I dealt with ringworm, the doe ruptured and both doe and kid died. And so it's a lot bit stressful, but I feel like Shindy is doing really well. I have that negative experience behind me now to work with. I know to take my time, and things are going really well so far. Every time I go in to check and manually dilate this cervix, it's open a little bit more. At first it was one finger and then it was 2 fingers, and now I can kind of go like this, rock back and forth. And I'm anticipating needing to go in the whole way and rearrange some kids, which I don't love to do, especially when the doe is chock full of them. There's not going to be a lot of room to move around in there. But what we gotta do, huh? Oh yeah, okay. Good. I'm actually feeling a face and teeth at this point. The kids might have rearranged themselves, because this one, she's actually making progress with a bubble with a kid in it right now. Yep, okay. Broken water. Not the worst color. All right. Look. In no time, we're gonna have babies. All right. I have just positioned one hoof and a nose. That should be all you need on your cervix. That's it. I can feel the lip of the cervix wrapped around the baby's face. So I'm just gently putting my 2 fingers next to the baby's face, underneath the cervix. I'm not going to be pulling on this kid, okay? That would cause her some damage. You're doing good. Good girl. There we are. Look at that. There you go. You did it. Look. It's probably an ornery boy. What do you think? Yes, that is a buck.
It kind of looks like it might have wattles.
It does have wattles. There we go.
Oh, cute. That's a big baby.
Wow, holy smokes. Hi. Holy crap, I thought you had small babies. I was so wrong. Hi.
Here's Waddles too.
You okay? Here, can you lick his face? His? Her face? Can you lick her face? There we go. Ooh.
A black one and a brown one.
She had a tiny bit of meconium. She's not small. That was a good chug. Congratulations. Oh my goodness, look at him. Oh, what a handsome. Full chocolate. Yes, the Christine line is so good at solid chocolate. Aren't they? Oh. With Waddles? You need to be gentle with your child, Shindy. Do you want this one? You're fine. She's fine. She doesn't want me to help her. She's offended. That's what that was. Supreme offense. You're pulled. I think. No. This is the day of I don't know what I'm talking about. She's not pulled. She's horned. Yep. We gotta check him. Here, you need to eat. Here. I know you're offended by having help, but sometimes we need help. He's horned, for sure. Yeah. You've got big horn buds. Careful. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. That's not it. Hey, do you see what you're doing? You're doing so good. Thank you. I still don't want that kind of a mouth kiss. Oh, that was a good chug. You both got good chugs. Look, she might want to lay down, and that'll be fine. You got good chugs. Don't let her kick you around, okay? Did you see that? That was not nice. He's a tough cookie. That was right in his back. Come on. I lied. 5.5 pounds. Are you serious? You look like a giant. Yep, 5.5 pounds. I think she's bigger. Yep, 5 3/4 pounds. It's unusual. Usually the bucks are the big ones. I mean, you still did have over 10 pounds of baby in there. You did. So yeah, that was a lot. And the spot where I sped up what I was doing, what was happening as the baby had one hoof out and like the front, his nose, is I did not want to pull the baby at that point because upon reaching in, I could feel that her cervix was around like his eyes. And I'm not just talking about the open to the vagina, the vulva, I'm talking about the cervix that's supposed to be further up inside the doe. It wasn't. It was trying to come out with the baby. It was around his eyes. And what I was doing during that time lapse was running my 2 fingers along the side of the baby's head with the cervix on the top, so I was between the cervix and the baby's head, and just trying to help coax that cervix to open so that the baby could be delivered and would leave the uterus on the inside. I think one of the things that really helped Shindy was that she had 2 babies in there, and so the dough was sort of weighing down the uterus and everything did stay inside. She did clear her placentas without issue. Her uterus is still inside, thank goodness. But yeah, I don't know if this is something that we're going to have to worry about for Shindy in the future. It's something that I'm still researching. So if you have any tips or recommendations, I'm sure a lot of us will be happy to read them down in the comments section below. There's a lot of people preparing for kidding season right now, and I'm a first generation like farmer and homesteader. I don't know a lot of these things. I do know that I've experienced something kind of similar in the past and that it ended in a bad outcome, and because of that it had me really taking my time, taking deep breaths, and just doing the next best thing, the next thing that I knew to do. And so hopefully we don't have to see this again in the future, but if we do, we've got this experience in our belts now to kind of know what's going on and maybe not have to consult the vet, though I'm very grateful that I did that. It has been a full day though, and I want to show you Shindy's gorgeous babies. It's a little bit dark in my barn right now. We're having quite the dark day, and this little boy is a very dark chocolate. When he first came out, I thought he was black, and he does have black fuzz. Let me see if turning on the light in the barn helps a little. So you can see him here. He's gorgeous. He's very dark. I would call him black, but around his eyes and around his little gopher ears is a chocolate type brown color. So I think as he matures, he's gonna lighten up a little bit, and he's technically a chocolate, solid chocolate with the wattles. They're kind of hard to see because these babies come out with quite a lot of fuzz. They were ready for the cold. Hey, goodness. This is the little doeling. She's not that little. We did weigh them. She's just under 6 pounds. She's pretty big though. Look at that. And she is, I think, probably technically gold, but she's like a red gold solid. She does have the elf ear, so she's got a little bit of cartilage right here, and she did get the wattles. So both of Shindy's babies inherited her wattles, which I absolutely love. Shindy is polled. Both of her babies are horned. I think we talked about that. And as far as I know right now, this little girl is going to stay, but I'm refraining from naming any of the baby goats until all of them from this crazy week are born, and I can kind of decide what names suit them best based on their personality. So speaking of other goats giving birth, we have already had one more goat give birth, our Tizzy girl, and that's going to be our next video. I'll see you there.